All right, we'll get started here with normal procedure here. Talk about last week's game, and then we'll roll into this week's contest here. Obviously a big road win for us, and a game that was very frenetic, and lots of things went on throughout the game, but one that we learned from. I think there's a lot of good learning from it in the win, which is always good. I think our team's had a lot of good learning experiences this year, what you want as you go throughout the schedule. And so the beginning of the game, I was going into that game, I was very concerned about their offense. I thought, I talked in the press conference last week about their quarterback and how good of a player he is. And I just really thought their offense was a difficult task for anybody, and they had played a difficult schedule, but I knew they had some, tremendous weapons in their offense and did some really good things. And the quarterback is hard guy to tackle. As you had watched games previous, he's just a hard guy to get a hold of. And so when and they're very good on their opening drives. I mean, they've been good on their opening drives for a long time, ever since he's been there. So when we fell behind 7-0, it was no surprise to me. And I liked the way we responded offensively by taking and they ate up more clock than what they traditionally did. That was what was a little bit surprising on that first drive. I think we got the ball back with just a little bit over 9 minutes left in the quarter. So they ate up almost 6 minutes of the first quarter with the drive. But I liked the way we responded offensively. We put together a good drive of our own. We ate up a lot of clock there, had some good conversions in that drive. Took some chances in that drive just because I knew the nature of the game was going to be one that, we were going to have to score some points to win the game. So I like the way, we performed from that point on, both offensively and defensively throughout the first half, and obviously it was a very close fought game after our first touchdown drive, and we were able to get another field goal, which we just need to continue to improve on. You getting the ball in end zone inside the red zone, because a 14-7 lead would have been a lot better than a 10-7 lead at that point. But we took the next opportunity that we had and went down and scored a touchdown. Ran the ball a lot, but again, when we've been going to our play action passing game, it's been really good. And we went to the play action pass there in the red zone and hit it to Trent for a touchdown and got the 17-7 lead there. But then again, they got the ball back with a little bit of time, and because we got the ball to start the second half, I felt like it stimulated them to try to take chances there. I think if they would have got the ball to start the second half, they probably wouldn't even have been that aggressive. But in that time and juncture in the game, you should be aggressive, and they did, and we were able to make a play and get the turnover and score there. So it gave us a really good closure, which is always so important on how you finish the half. And so we finished the half with 2 scores there very quickly, and got us into the locker room with a good lead, and feeling comfortable, and came out in the third quarter, and it just shows you how fast in college football things can turn on you. We go 3 and out or 4 and out, I think, on our first drive, and punt the ball to them. They put together a good drive. Again, not anything unexpected. After 5 minutes in the third quarter, they got 14 points. So it's still, they're going to score, they're going to get their points, they're going to do their thing. The next drive, we start off with a big run with Ronnie, and he gets hit really hard. It was a really good tackle by them, and a real physical tackle, and we didn't hold on to the ball, and they get the ball back and go down and score, and here you go. We got ourselves a football game before you know what's going on. And so from that point, again, our team, a lot of teams would have folded their tent right there, and we didn't. We stayed within ourselves, and we made the biggest play one of the biggest plays of the game is when Gavin stepped up in the pocket under duress and made a great throw to Tyron, and Tyron made a great catch, and we got a big scoring play right there to get the lead back to where we wanted to have it, more than a 1-score lead. But again, they got opportunities, and again, probably the biggest play in the game was when they were inside the red zone, and Jadrian got the fumble recovery and took it back all the way and got us a 20-point lead that we needed to get secured there at that time of the game. But again, tribute to Charlotte. They did a nice job of coming back and executing their offense and creating some plays we had the unfortunate penalty on the stop where the game should have been over there at the end of the game and got it extended, and they ended up scoring and making it even more exciting. And obviously it led down to IJ making that big play at the end of the game, so really gutsy play. So again, a lot of good stuff went on all three segments of the football. I think our special teams is continuing to improve. We made a lot of plays on special teams in the 19 snaps that we had of special teams play. A lot of guys played tremendous on both sides of the football and in the special teams. So I'm really happy with the way we played, and we knew it was going to be a difficult game. Everybody expected it to be a hard-fought, close game, and it sure was, and it was an exciting win for our program. So moving on to this week, again, another challenge lies ahead for us, another road game, back-to-back road games, and, outside this back-to-back road games outside the state of Texas. So, again, it'll be against a team that, has a good passing attack, runs the ball well, really talented receivers, big, tall quarterback with a very strong arm. Their running backs got good shiftiness and speed to them. Defensively, they're very, very athletic on defense and have a lot of returners from last year's defense, so a very experienced defense with some new faces in there, but the new faces are athletic. They have a lot of depth on their defensive football team. So, again, a big challenge for us going into another road conference game here as we go into this week. So I'll open up to questions from there.
Coach, early in the year, it was sort of a story that you had trouble getting rushed with your line because people were just getting rid of the ball so quickly. Has something changed there? Did you guys adjust? You're getting a lot more pass rush now.
Yeah, we're getting better pass rush. I think I was really pleased, obviously, with the way Jadrian played. And, Jadrian is so athletic and explosive, as you could see when he got that, what did somebody call it? A thick six, right? A thick six touchdown from a big guy getting a touchdown, I saw that. That was pretty cool. My sister-in-law said that. I'm not sure. I'm sure she didn't coin that phrase. I don't get on the media and stuff much, so I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But so Jadrian's really stepped up his game. What's happening is, you start reading our tallies, and our D-line is playing so well, Brett, and they're just playing to a high level. And you read the tallies of our linebackers, Cal and Tyrese are playing so good. But I told our D-line today, not only are they getting more pressure on the quarterback, which we've talked about and we need for sure, and we got to continue to do that, but they're helping our linebackers have a lot more production too in the run against the run game and some sacks too. So the defensive line, our depth and our talent across the D-line has showed up, in the last couple games, definitely, and we need to continue to have that to happen.
Obviously, the last couple of weeks, you've run the football
yes.
a
lot more. Yeah.
What was the impetus for that change after the New Mexico game? Did you see something on film with the two teams you played this past week, or was it just what?
I just think we needed to lead. I've said it before, and your team takes a different identity every year. In the second half of last year, we were really throwing the ball well and doing that well, and I think now the identity of this year's team is taking a little bit different of a turn, and I think what we're doing now really fits our personality better, and obviously it's helping us to have some success. The way we ran the ball against Boise. If you guys look at the Boise stats right now, I think they're the number 6 or number 5 team defensively in the country. So if you can run the ball like we did against them, against a team of that caliber, especially that good on defense. They're really, really strong on defense. It just shows you that that's probably something we should be doing more of. And so, and then it's really allowing Gavin to be real precise, and his game is really picked up because he can start attacking people with his arm talent, and he's being he's just running our offense to a high level. So I think he's feeling really comfortable with what we're doing too. So it's just morphed us into the type of offense that we need to be. And again, we held the ball for 40 minutes against Boise and 33 plus last week. And so that always is a real positive for you. And knock on wood, we've been minimizing our turnovers because of it too, so it's been a real positive turn for us, and it's going to be important in these games down the stretch here for sure.
When it comes to adversity, you talked about not panicking. You talked about liking the adversity that you all handled in these games. What has been the secret to that?
I think the quality of character and the experience of our guys on our team. I really gave our guys a lot of credit as to the quality of character and how they've matured as a football team, and it's a good sign because most teams that you would be around would have really panicked in that situation. And instead of us panicking, we step up and make that huge play on third down with Tyron and Gavin, and that kind of jump-started things again. But the defense just kept playing with a lot of passion too. So I thought just so much character gained from that. But I think it's a lot to our leadership and our experience on our football team.
Go back to 2 weeks ago when the alarms from the outside world were kind of sounding as to this UTEP minus team. Can you pinpoint a moment where things have kind of changed? We're now back-to-back wins. First win in the Eastern Conference, first win against Boise. Things have really turned. Yeah,
I just think, again, us trying to find our identity on what best, fits our football team and really we go back and look, and the New Mexico loss was just a tough weekend for us, a tough weekend. We had a bad weekend, and we had to get it fixed. And I think, we've tried to really look at things and say, hey, how can we get these things fixed? And we've made some good adjustments to do the things that our team does the best, and those guys have rallied. And as I had said before, we got a lot of good football players that have proven they can play well, and now they're starting to play better, and now the challenge just lies ahead. Here comes another week, and we got a even tougher challenge than we had last week. I mean, that's just kind of how the conference is going to be, and we got to have a great week and great preparation going into this ball game.
A couple of weeks back, you talked about prosperity, the word prosperity, and at that time you were feeling that maybe they needed to figure out once again how to handle prosperity. So you're prospering right now, and what does that mean moving forward for you?
Well, I think we're gaining confidence from it, and I think if we were gonna stumble from prosperity, we were sure set up for it after the Boise win, and I feel like our guys handled it real well because I felt like we probably played one of our very best games of the year. Boise was our best, but I think Charlotte was real close because, again, Charlotte's offenses can be really explosive, and they played a lot of good teams, and so I felt like we went out and handled that long trip. It was a long trip. It was a difficult schedule, getting up as early, and we handled all that well. So I was pleased with that part of it. And now our guys more than anything need to continue to realize that the work's got to be better this week, and that's how we handle it. Our work's got to be better this week than what it was last week and the week before. We got to really raise our game up for this game because it's even more of a challenge for us than Charlotte was last week. So I think we're caught up in our day-to-day activities right now. That's the big thing for our team right now.
Looking at Louisiana Tech, obviously they're 1-3, so the record is somewhat the same,
Right.
but the schedule's been really tough. And with Sonny being in year one, what has he kind of brought to the table, and what have you seen from him?
Yeah, Sonny's a great guy. I mean, I just enjoy spending time around him, and I know he's going to do a tremendous job there at that program. It's always been a strong program in our conference for a while now, right? They've had a firm grasp on the upper level of our conference. They get a lot of talent there, and I think Sonny's going to do a tremendous job building his talent base that he has, and he's got great talent right now, so he's going to continue to build off of that. And I think their systems are really good on both sides of the football. They do a lot of good things as you look at it just from the coaching aspect, schematically, to what they do. So again, La Tech's a big challenge for us. It has been. Our win over them last year was gigantic for the program, and again, they're going to be a huge challenge for us just because they're really athletic on both sides of the football.
How important is it for you to get a win on Saturday? Especially since you head into the bye week and then you have 2 straight
Right.
home games.
It's really big. To get another road win would be gigantic for the program because obviously then we get to enjoy the 2 home games back to back, and a bye week, which I think we should. I don't know how many teams are going to be playing their 7th game on October 8th in the country right now. I think we're going to be down to, I've kind of tried to glimpse it. I haven't researched it, but if you glimpse it, I think we might be down. I don't know if North Texas plays this weekend or not, but we might be down to maybe us being the only team in the country playing Game 7 on October 8th, because you think about it, we're going to be 7/12 of our season done, and it's October 8th, and so we got to stay locked in because we get a breath of fresh air and 2 home games right after that. So a lot of good things to look forward to, but this is a huge game for us right now.
Are you starting to see Deion Hankins? Is he?
Yeah, Deion was a force on Saturday. The way he ran, the play I didn't even mention was our conversion there in the second quarter, right on what was that? 20, I don't even know, 30 yards, and he converts it on a zone play. But the line got him 15, and then he got whatever the rest of that run was on his own, moving the whole pile. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a running back move a pile like that in a game where he actually took him from about 7 yards short of a first down to 2 or 3 yards past the first down stick. There was just Deion in the middle of a bunch of people moving forward, and it was really impressive to see his strength show itself like that. It was really, probably hasn't been talked about as much as it should have, how really impressive that run was. But it was more than once. If we get him started, he's really doing some stuff better than he ever has done. So it's really nice to see him operating at that high of a level and getting his strength back.
And kind of jumping off that change, is that something you can see throughout the week, or is it not something that you can't see until that Saturday?
Yeah, you can't really see it. Yeah, you can't see it until Saturday because he can't run anybody over until the game comes, And him and Ronnie are such a good combination, and we didn't probably use Ray enough, because Ray's a really nice combination, or a really nice mixer to those two, And so those 3 guys together, with the line effort and the tight end effort and the fullback effort that we have, it just kind of makes sense to be more of a run-oriented football team right now, just because of the talent that we have at those positions. And so we need to try to take advantage of that. And those backs are stimulating a lot of it right now, for sure.
Obviously, as you said, you run the football really effectively. With Gavin, I think it's 25 pass attempts in the last 2 games. Is there maybe an ideal number that you have in your head?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to run at 45 and have him throw at 14. You know what I'm saying? 59 snaps again, because we're chewing up clock. But I don't necessarily go into a game thinking that's a good mix for us, right? That's not that, that's a 75. That's pretty close to a 75-25 mix there. And so we want to do a little bit more passing than that, but when we're running the ball as effectively as we were, there was just never times in the game where I felt like, gosh darn, we want to just start throwing it more here. Even at the end of the game there's my mind's going, I'm thinking about throwing the ball right on those last 2 drives, but I'm like, we're still 2 scores up. We're still, there's still, and if you throw the ball in the stop and you stop the clock, so there's a lot of things that led to us running the ball a little bit more there at the end of the game than what we might have. So we were clipping maybe at a 60-40 before those last couple drives there at the end of the game.
You talk about having a good combo of 3 different guys at running back. Jadrian Taylor's been pretty vocal about wanting to get a couple snaps there at running back.
Sure.
After his play, do you intend to put him in the room?
Well, I'm blaming that on Coach Neely right now. I mean, Coach Neely's got to see talent like that in our program and take advantage of getting him in his room like that. So I talked about that after practice today, but he's been really trying to get reps at that for a while now, and so I think he looked pretty good running down the field right there. So who knows, he might be in a goal line short yardage package here. Maybe Wildcat even, huh? Little Jadrian at Wildcat. He's got a quarterback number. Why not put him back there?
I wanted to go back to Gavin. He's been running the ball a little bit more these last 2 games. Was that something you're expecting heading into this year?
It's really, really been good. It's really been good, and it's just a part of the, again, when you start preparing for us, and normally you're saying, okay, the quarterback's not going to run the ball. Now he's starting to run the ball. But it's credit to Gavin, too, because of his how he's improved athletically. He just looks good running the ball. I mean, 50 yards rushing is a nice addition to our offense when you start adding 50 yards rushing from the quarterback position. Anytime you get up over 35, 40 yards from your quarterback position, it makes a big difference in how people have to defend you. And so he's doing a really good job with that. And he's throwing the ball well on the move, and so he's using his athleticism to help our football team win games. So it's really good.
Two late game kind of game management questions. Do you look at tweaking your onside kick return a little bit, obvious onside kick return a little bit, so they can't pin you on the 7 so easily?
Yes.
Did you think at all about taking a safety there on the last?
Yes. Yes. There was 3 game management decisions that had to be made. The first one was we wanted Tyron to be deeper, and we didn't get that communicated to him, A. 2 was I thought heavily about taking a safety there, right? I thought heavily about taking a safety to get that 4 points, but get a little bit more field position, right? So it was heavily. We were so far out on the field, I didn't feel as comfortable about our execution of it. That part of the field is one of the things that made me hesitate on that. And then there was a third one in there that a lot of people, that you're right at the cusp. When we jumped up by 19 points, you're at that number that there's a two-way philosophy where you can go for 2 to get up 21, or you can. But if you miss it, then 2 touchdowns, 2-point plays, and a field goal ties you. So that's a number that's kind of, again, I've played with over the 30-some years of coaching, but all 3 of those things definitely were weighing on my mind. That was funny to have 2 different situations that were really interesting that you don't come across too much. Being at the 25 and thinking about taking a safety, A, and then B, being up 19 points with 13 minutes and 42 seconds left in the game. So there was a lot of fun stuff to have to process as a head coach, for sure.
Speaking of game management, 4th down conversions, you all did that real well. A, how big is Calvin Brownhold's team?
Yes.
Spot, and B, what goes into the decision of actually going for it on 4th?
That's great. That's I wanted to talk about that. We have different options that we can do out of that jumbo package. There's a lot of different things that we've done the last 2 years out of it. And so now it gets down to the point where, obviously we know what one of them was that we used in the bowl game, and then there's other ones where we run the ball on the edge on either side. And so what's happened is the win in the bowl game has really expanded people on that, but also the wedge play that we've run, the dive play that we've run off of it has really made people have to protect the edge of it, and now they were just giving us the sneak, and so it's really a 3-headed monster. That there's a couple other things we can do off of it that we haven't shown yet as well that make people it gives a lot of versatility, and Calvin dictates all that at the line of scrimmage based on what you give us. So it's been really good, and the first call was really a gutsy call for us to have to make there at the 50-yard line or whatever that yard line was to go for it on 4th, but it's just because I feel confident about Calvin and what he can do, and I knew they were going to score points. I knew we couldn't, win that game 20-17. I knew it was going to be important for us to generate on that first drive. I wanted to get the ball in the end zone.
Cal Wallerstedt, obviously, but getting to do it with his dad, getting on the sidelines as a coach. You've obviously gotten to do that with Winston. Just as a father, what is that like?
Oh, I'm so happy for those guys. Cal's waited his turn, and none of us ever understood what he could do when he got the opportunity to play. And I know it's been really fun for Josie and Matt to be able to watch him play and play at the level that he's playing, and I'm sure it's exciting for Coach Wallerstedt to have his son out there playing at the level that he's playing at. To be able to play but to play and play at that level and to back it up the way he is really pretty cool to see the way Cal's playing, and he's getting more and more confident with what he's doing. And what was really cool is we faced some really good team speed Saturday. We faced a really fast football team. They had very fast backs and very crazy talented receivers. And Cal played really, really well in that type of an environment. So I thought he played a great game against a tough, really stiff offensive competition. So it's got to be, really exciting for the family. Yep, absolutely. Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate it.